Your move, your move.
What's up guys, it's Rokta here and welcome to another amazing video on the channel. So yes, the Exosisters are back, and yes, I think they're actually better post-Banlist, which is kind of crazy to say considering we lost 2 of the dimension shifters. But this build, the build I haven't seen a lot of people, if any, this could be a custom Rokta build play. It is Bystial Exosisters, and I know that sounds kind of crazy because Martha locks you, but Martha also gets triggered off the Bystials. So just basically listen to my explanations throughout the deck profile and you'll see how everything sort of gels together. I will do a combo tutorial on this deck as well, which should be out next week or maybe the week after, depending on how the upload schedule goes. But if you do enjoy this type of content and you are new around here, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe down below, leave a comment. Do you think this variant is actually good? I think it's absolutely fantastic, and the fact that we, as an Exosister player, have an Abyss Dweller at home is still absolutely amazing, because we can just make that Abyss Dweller the opponent. They will have to, if they're playing a graveyard heavy deck, they'll have to pass, and we can then proceed to OTK. I absolutely love this deck at the moment. So make sure, if you do enjoy this video, that you do leave a comment down below letting me know. So let's get straight into the deck profile. Now, Exosister Martha is our first 3 of, and it's the most important card for both Exosisters and also for Bystials, which is kind of crazy. You have to be really careful when you use her effects because it can lock you into only Exosisters. However, if you don't use her in that hand effect and you do manage to get her on the field, with 1 Bystial, you'll actually be able to almost full combo, which is really, really nice. Let me remind you what Martha does. So she's a level 4 light spellcaster. If you control no monsters or only Xyz monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if you do, special summon 1 Exosister at least from your deck. So it immediately gives you access to a rank 4 Xyz, which is absolutely fantastic. If you open Martha and another name in hand, it's full combo. And let me remind you, Exosister full combo is 4 banishes and follow-up if your monster survives, which is pretty clutch. The reason that we don't want to be using this effect all the time is because it locks you for the whole turn. Now, the whole turn meaning even if her effect gets negated, you still cannot special summon anything that is in an Exo. If your monster gets removed from the field, you still cannot use or special anything that is in an Exo. So you've got to be really careful. The main reason it bridges between the Exosisters and herself is due to her second effect, which is if a card moves out of either graveyard, you can special summon from your extra deck 1 Exosister Xyz using this face-up card you control as material. Now, this gives you a sort of Zodiac-like effect that is a 1-card Xyz. And if you combine that with Bystials either during your turn or your opponent's turn, you kind of get the picture of how we're going to be able to go full Exo combo and have Bystials too. So I really love Martha. She's definitely a 3 of. I just wish all the Exosisters shared her effect. All the other Exosisters apart from Martha, while they are light level 4 spellcasters, they only trigger if your opponent moves a card out of the graveyard. So Martha is definitely the best one in combination with Bystials. For another 3 of, we have triple of the Exosister Elise. Elise, we play 3 simply because it's the only one that we can special out the deck with Martha. So if we play 3 Martha, we need 3 Elise in the deck. And also its ability to just special summon itself, as long as we control an Exo, is pretty insane as well. It's just a free body, even if you control another Elise, which gives you access to an immediate Xyz play. And all of the Exosisters, as I said, share the effect that if your opponent moves a card out of the graveyard, they become 1-card Zodiac Xyz, which is absolutely crazy, really, if you think about it. For the one-offs, we have the 1 Exosister Sophia and the 1 Exosister Stella. So from testing, Stella is the one I've definitely used the least. However, I still want to play at least 1 copy in the deck, because this allows you to just basically special summon an Exosister from your hand and continue playing. Sophia is interesting because there's lots of times where with 7th Tachyon, you top deck a card, but then thanks to the Sophia draw, you can basically redraw what you topped, which is absolutely amazing. So I really love these 2 as one-ofs. Everything in this deck is super, super searchable, so I think 1 of each is perfectly fine. For the spells, we have triple Exosister packs. This card is absolutely incredible in this build, and this build specifically because since it's a quick effect, during the main phase, you can do it during your opponent's turn. You pay 800 life points, add an Exosister card from your deck to your hand. Then if you added a monster, you can special summon it to your field. If you mention a Exosister that's mentioned on the Exosister you added text. So if you add Martha, you can special Martha as long as you have a Elise engraved, which is insane. The reason we want to hold this during our opponent's turn is because Pax and a Bystial basically gives you a Bystial during your opponent's turn. Now, I know you're saying a Bystial is banned. Exosisters have their own version of a Bystial, which is arguably just as good, if not better. So that is why with Pax, we're going to be, most of the time, if we can combo and search this, we save this, which is also really good if they Nibiru us, because even if they Nibiru, we can still use this card. Special Martha during the opponent's turn, activate a Bystial, banishing either any of their lights or darks, or even our own, trigger the Martha, summon a Dweller. Our opponent is now Dweller locked, and in a format which is going to go towards a lot of graveyard-centric decks, this is a crucial interaction that Exosister have. We also have the one Exosister Carpidivum, I believe is how you say that card's name. Still don't know how to pronounce it after years of playing this deck. It's the continuous spell, which is really good to play through Nib. If you search this card, basically, before you Xyz, you then Xyz summon, call Nibiru, and it's a prohibition during yours and your opponent's turn. So you can, during your turn, call Nibiru, during their turn, call their amazing one-card starters, and you can just lock them out for the whole turn, which is amazing. It also gives your Exosisters targeting protection from monsters summoned from the grave, which can come up, and if you do declare an attack with an Exo, it can just basically MST something. MST a spell and trap on the field, which is really nice. So really, really cool. Like this card. I don't play Armament. There is an argument to play Armament, but I feel the Bystials do what Armament would do, if you know what I mean. So that is why I'm not playing Armament in this build. We play the one Exosister Returnia and the one Exosister Vadis. Only one of each of the trap. It is more than enough. If you side and you're going second, pick one, take one out, and side more hand traps in or board breakers, because this deck can struggle on the draw. So just keep that in mind. But one of each is really, really good. Basically, Returnia is a super punish for your opponent if you manage to resolve Magnifica. It's banish 2, which is fantastic. Vadis is a special 2 from deck, which you usually always chain if your opponent is going to move a card out of the grave. If your opponent has, for example, against the Crystron matchup where they banish for cost, just do Vadis during the draw phase, and basically they have to skip their turn, or they trigger both of your Exosisters, or they're forced to go to battle, out them, and then combo, which means you're not dead, which is cool. So Vadis, really, really good as well. Both traps are amazing, but you only need one. For the supporting engine, we have the Spirit Package. Still play this, even with the Bystials. Triple Aratama, because it doesn't special, and it's a way to get 2 normals into an Xyz, which basically allows you to go combo, which is really, really nice. So I really like this card. You basically search the Sakitama, which is crucial. Speaking of Sakitama, I believe maybe there's one stuck here. Yeah, here we go. I couldn't find it. We got 2 Sakitama. So normal Aratama, search Sakitama, and then Sakitama reveal itself to additional normal itself from hand. Boom, you have an Xyz monster without specialing, meaning you can search Martha now and use Martha's effect and go full combo, which is amazing. Aratama is 1 card full combo for this deck. It's incredible. Love it. You want to see it. There are certain hands as well where once you start getting really good with the deck, you try and save the Aratama on field, because at the end phase it will bounce back to your hand and you just reset your 1 card combo again, which is amazing. For the spells, triple 7th Tachyon. This card, absolutely incredible, really important for a deck like this. Gives you so much consistency. If you don't know what it does, you reveal a number monster between 101 and 107. Add a monster with its same type or attribute and the same level as rank. So you reveal, for example, the Masquerade, which we do play in the extra deck, and then you basically search any Exosister from your deck and then top 1 card from the top, from your hand to the top of the deck. And then if you go into the Sophia line, you can just draw the card, or you can shuffle the deck using a Martha effect, for example, and then draw. So really, really nice. And for the card to search it, down to 1 copy now. Apologize for the proxy. 7th Ascension. Now, I've cut 2 copies of this card because I wanted to play more hand traps. In testing, I was playing 3, and that was too much. So I think 1 copy is fine. We have 3 Martha, 3 Aratama, 3 7th Tachyon, and 1 7th Ascension. All of those equal Martha. So we really don't need to be playing so many copies, and I'd rather have those extra 2 cards be impact hand traps is the reasoning I'm going for. So 1 7th Ascension, it searches a 7th card, which is 7th Tachyon, and then Tachyon gets you access to every Exosister. For the Bystials, here we are. Triple the Bystial Lubellion. Now, since we lost Shifter, we are going to be playing the Lubellion package. Lubellion, the Bystial Lubellion is a fantastic card. Just pitch it from your hand, add any Bystial monster from your deck to your hand, which is incredible. And then during the main phase, If it's on the field, which you can do by just special summoning it by tributing a level 6 or higher Dark Dragon, you can place a branded continuous spell or trap from your deck face up to the field, which is really nice, and it works super well in a deck like this because since we play a lot of one-offs in the extra deck, we can banish those with the Bystials and recycle them, which is really, really crucial in a deck like this. And once you start getting really good with the deck, you'll find that you can just loop your important cards, and your meta decks really do struggle against that. We have the 1 Bystial Magnamute, the 1 Bystial Baldrake, and the 1 Bystial Jerusalem. I apologize for the proxy. I sold all my Bystials thinking it was going to be reprinted in Rarity Collection 4, but it wasn't, so just going to have to do with the proxy. These are the best targets essentially for Lubellion. Magnamute is a quick effect DD Crow, same as all the Bystials as long as they control a monster for a light or dark. And Magnamute searches at the end phase. Baldrake allows you to tribute another light or dark to banish a monster on the field when summoned. And Jerusalem, when it's sent to the grave, will send one monster from the field to the grave. So these are your main targets. Just play 3 because they count as hand traps as well, and they really do help with the hand trap count in this deck. And of course, the 1 Branded Regained, which is our target. This card is a custom card for Bystials and for any light or dark deck. It's really, really cool. If a light or dark monster is banished, target one of those monsters, place that monster to the bottom of the deck, and if you do, draw 1 card. Surprisingly good against Malice because they're going to banish, and during their turn, they have priority, so they go Chainlink 1 to summon back, they pay life points, and you go Chainlink 2 Regained, put that card to the deck, you don't summon, and I draw a card. Fantastic. Also, if they normal or special a monster, you can target a Bystial in your grave and special summon it. So you can just summon back your Magnamute, get another search. Summon back Baldrake, get an interruption. Summon a Jerusalem, and if they out it, you have a send, which is amazing. For the hand traps, Triple Ash, needed, to be honest with you. Really, really important. Ash is just very good into almost every deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! I can't think of a deck that Ash just does nothing against. It's just one of those generically good hand traps. We have Triple Veiler. Now that we're not playing Shifter, now that we're not playing the Dominus Purges, we can afford to play multiple different hand traps because Purge would lock you out of, I believe, Darks, and it would lock you out of another thing. But we can play Veiler now because since Shifter's down to 1, we can resolve it because remember, Shifter needs to send itself to the grave. If Shifter's in effect, you just cannot use the Veiler. We have Triple Imperm as well, because Imperm is just Veiler but better. It's really good on the draw. So that's 12 hand traps now, I believe. And then of course we still do play the 1-dimensional Shifter, although I'm not sure if we just cut this card completely. I'm not going to lie to you. It feels like when you draw it, you restrict yourself basically to mostly Exosister plays and some Bystials. It switches off your Veiler. However, it's still a very good card. There's still some decks that lose to this. Crystron, for example, have a super hard time against Shifter. And Crystron, I believe, is a deck that's going to be doing bits in the next coming format because it's very good and very cheap. It's very good against Dragon Tail. It's very good against Orcus, which are all decks that are going to be relevant soon. So maybe still play the Shifter, or if not, cut it. Either play Call By or 1 Triple Tactics Talent. That's what I would suggest. I'm still in the process of testing this card, but that is the main deck. That is 40 cards. Let's now get on into the extra deck. Going into the extra deck, let's start off with the Exosister boss monster. Double of the Exosisters Magnifica. Fantastic card. Takes 2 rank 4 Exosister Xyz monsters to make. Can make a second attack during each battle phase, and it's 2/8, so that's really important. On a quick effect, detach a material from this card. Non-targeting, banish a card on the field. Fantastic. And if your opponent activates a card or effect, on a quick effect, you can return 1 Xyz monster that was attached to this card to the extra deck, summon it, and use this as material. So effectively, you summon one of the materials under it, and that counts as an Xyz summon. Crucial for Exosister Xyz monsters. Keep that in mind. For 3 of Triple Exosister Mikalis, I play 3 of this. Arguably play 2, although you do go through this card a lot, so maybe 3 is the way. If you were going to cut it to 2, I would play a second Asophiel, just because I think that card is very, very important in the current and upcoming format. But for now, we're playing Triple Mikalis. What does it do? Well, 2 level 4 monsters and cannot be destroyed by battle with a monster special summon from the graveyard. If you control this card that was Xyz summoned this turn by using an Exosister monster as material, on a quick effect, you can target 1 card your opponent controls or in their graveyard and banish it. Fantastic. You can also detach this an Xyz material and search for an Exosister spell or trap. So it's also a rota, which is what I'm saying, that if this card, if you make it during your opponent's turn, it does survive, you do have a search for packs and you can continue comboing there. We have double of the Exosister Caspitel. This card is very good, not only for its search effect, but on summon, neither player can special summon monsters from the graveyard for the rest of the turn. So you do have a really good out to stuff like Horus monsters. They just sit there and they're stuck. Any other deck that's going to be special summoning a lot from the grave, they just can't anymore, which is amazing with Caspatel. It also does have a detach, and you do add an Exosister monster from your deck to your hand. For the one-ofs, Exosister, Jabreen. Now, these don't share the battle protection. They share card effect destruction. Basically, they can be destroyed by monsters special summoned from the graveyard via card effect. Really good into the Mitsurugi stuff. I know that stuff is going to be relevant soon because they just got really good support. They cannot basically wipe your board if you have this because they just don't get destroyed, which is amazing. Let me go over Jabreen as she's the less important one. On a quick effect, the turn she's summoned, she is a effect negation, which is fantastic. And then you can detach one Xyz material. All Xyz monsters you control will gain 800 attack, and that is monsters that you summon after this effect as well. It's just a whole turn, Xyz monsters gain 800 attack. Exosister. This is more than often or not the win condition against a lot of decks. Now, why do we play one? The theory is we only really need one, and if it's in the grave, we can banish it and with regain put it back to then make it again later. However, maybe I bump this up to 2 copies and take down a Michaelis. Maybe thinking this card seems really important. What does it do? Well, it cannot be destroyed by the activated effects of monster special summon from the graveyard, same as Jabreen. And on Xyz summon, as long as it uses an Exosister monster as material, neither player can activate card effects in the graveyard this turn. This is so good against Crystron, so good against Mitsurugi. It's going to be amazing against Dragontail. It's going to be broken against Orcus. It's still going to remain amazing against graveyard-reliant decks now. This card is how you win games. It is a Sofield. You make a Sofield during your opponent's turn, and if they're a graveyard deck, you just extend the hand, and you basically just skip their turn, which is fantastic. But sometimes, however, you cannot go into Xyzs. So for that reason, I play double of a 2 monsters, a Artemis and an SP Little Knight. This is in those scenarios where you get debarriered and you want to do something. You go Artemis, SP, and it's better than nothing, especially if you have a Pax. You'll be able to summon during your opponent's turn and then continue playing then. For the supporting Xyz engines, we have a Zeus, just because we can threaten Zeus quite often or not, and Zeus is a fantastic card for Xyz decks. 1 Wallow, because we play the Bystials. Wallow is again just more graveyard hate. You can, on a quick effect, target one card in opponent's graveyard, and then if it's a monster, special it face down or face up. If it's a spell or trap, you can set it to your field, which is amazing. Or you can always just detach 1 card and just return it to the deck, so really good against stuff like Telements as well. We also have the number 104 Masquerade. This is our target off of 7th Tachyon. I was considering playing a Galaxy Eyes Xyz as well over the Wallow, because that actually allows you to search the Bystial Lubellion, which is pretty important. So maybe that is an addition I make. Cut the Wallow and add a second target for 7th Tachyon. And then, of course, the 1 Chaos Angel, which no one ever expects in this deck. 1 Bystial and 1 Exosister is a full-powered Chaos Angel, which has both effects, so is unaffected by monster effects, and it cannot be destroyed by battle. So just keep that in mind. You can make that is an option. So that is the end of this Exosister deck. Let me know if you guys are still playing Exosisters post-list. A lot of people saying, wow, the deck is dead, Shifter's gone. No, there's still so many ways to play this deck, especially with Bystials being able to trigger Martha during your opponent's turn, making a Byst Dweller, extend the hand. So let me know what you guys think. I really hope this deck gets support. We're still missing the Xyz version of Martha, so I do believe we will be getting that soon, especially because Exosister is in the Tactical Tri deck. So that would be really nice. A card that stops banishing from the grave would be fantastic. You can struggle against Malice for that exact reason. An Xyz monster that just doesn't let your opponent banish? Yes, please. If you're wondering where the Mulch armies are, they are in the side. In the side deck, we have the Forloss, and we have the Lanciers, and we have the Thrusts. I'm just giving you guys an example of what I play in the side deck. I don't show side decks most of the time because they are up to event preference and meta calls. So that is why I don't show the side, but a lot of you do ask, so I'm just giving you a bit of an explanation. So I'm Road to here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.
It's time! Let's go!